One of our key topics for the Israel Innovation Summit for a Better World is, of course, the hottest in Israel's technology today, and that is food. How will we eat? What will we eat? What will our food look like? And how will the planet be affected by the way we consume food? And to open this session, I am really delighted to invite the First Lady of Israel's food industry, Ms. Ofra Strauss. Chair of the Strauss Group, Ofra, bevakasha.
Just a switch. Hi. Thank you for having me. It's a real privilege. I am talking on the subject of food in many places. I see it as my passion, as my mission, but to do it today here. We were supposed to be at the Paris Center, but we are here. Feels the same. The passion to innovate for a better world is something that Paris was talking all the time. Chemi and I, we had the chance to do other things together, but it was always with this mission that it's possible, it's our role. We are not anymore, as we said to ourselves many times, we are not anymore the next generation. We are the generation that has to really make sure that we leave to our kids and to the next generation a better world. So building together a better future for humanity is something that, wow, it's a green, they told me, okay? It's really something that once you are in the food industry, once you are at the stage where we mention the name Paris, it's really natural to talk about. It's not so natural when we are in other places. So in the last really year, or almost 2 years, that's my role, to ignite really forces, to share and to talk together, because for me especially, understanding the food industry as I understand it today, everything we talked about today is really relevant for us, and we need all the technology that you talked about today. So, a minute, I'll say why I was chosen to talk here. So I'm the chair of the Strauss Group, and we are in many food categories. We are based here in Israel, and we are international today. Half of our turnover is here and half internationally. Half of our people in the country that we call Strauss are here, and half are in different parts of the world. We have amazing multinational partners for over 30 years. Danone, French, PepsiCo, American, Haier, Chinese. We just celebrated 8 years of partnership. Successful, amazing journey with Haier in China. And believe me, we did lots of mistakes, we Strauss. And one thing I learned from our partners Haier, if you have the passion and you know quality has to be there, it's possible. So I heard the question, is it possible to work in China? It is. They are really showing us how hard work makes it possible. So we are in water purification, we are in technology. We have partners here in Israel, two kibbutzim. We have family as our partners in Brazil. But it didn't start like that. My grandparents, in 1936, had to leave Germany as the Nazis started to show their faces. And my grandma wrote in her diary in Germany, I want to raise my child in a country where he can be proud of what he is. And they just left everything You can see them on the boat with my father on their arms, and came to Israel with a dream to have a better future for their son. It was not possible to do it in Germany. There were immigrants. So it's a universal word today, no? Refugees, immigrants, all those words. But in this case, it's our story. And they decided to do it by buying, we say 2 cows, but here you see the cow. Started with 2 cows, and through agriculture and recipes of my grandma, that's how it all started. To make a better future for their son, for their family, but actually to build the country. So that's the story for us. They thought that through food you can improve, you can build a country, and we just embraced it. And our mission is to improve people's life through just movement of improvement. And just this conference is exactly what we mean, is this sharing, is just doing things together. Public health is exactly where food is. It's about logistics. It's about everything we talked about today. So when you are in the food industry, you understand very well and you see it. What does it mean to improve? So the mission is big, and it's amazing, actually. When you talk about food, it's everywhere and everything around us. It's people, it's those smiles, it's really how we cook, it's everything. So I can't really tell you what food is, you know it, but I want to share with you some facts about the food industry. Food is huge. It's around $15 trillion industry. It employs 2 billion farmers. 8.5 billion people eat. If you talk about the ones who ate food and those that are going to eat food, those are all affected by the food. And 100% of all them, and also animals, they all eat. And people love to talk about food. In Pinterest, food is the #1 topic that people like to talk about. We think it's fashion. No, it's food. So we are talking about something huge. But food is also basic. It's motherhood, it's parenthood, it's how people actually define themselves. Think about faith, kosher food, halal. I mean, every way of actually describing what we are. I'm vegetarian, I'm flexitarian. People describe themselves by what they eat. Food touches also people in ways that we don't really think about when we say the word food. Because the way we grow food is affecting the environment, it's affecting Earth. It has an impact that really makes us responsible. We, the food industry, always had a unique role in this $15 trillion. Our role was to be the interface with people, to know what they want, to know what they actually expect from us. We research, we are in touch with them. Thanks to God, now with technology is even easier. So that was our role in the food industry. And we did it, and we are doing it for years. But now what we see, that just by us knowing it is not good enough. So if people want more protein in their food, by the time we tell the growers that that's what they need, it's too long, actually. So what we actually see as part of our responsibility now, because we are there, we are the one who are in touch with people. We understand that this big, huge responsibility, it has a face. So we say, we do research, we know exactly what they want, how they want, and I'll share with you. But I think the most important thing that we try to do again and again is to remember that this amazing word that is called responsibility, it has a face. And we have to do things together now, as the responsibility gets bigger. So people live longer and they live better. So I know some of the people who spoke before me might sound a bit skeptical, but people live much longer and they live better. But things are changing now. The expectations are much bigger. People actually want things in so many ways and in so many occasions. And I'll share it with you in a minute, how exactly they want it. But what we see and what we hear, and when we talked about the FDA and we talk about government, people are actually very vocal and very loud about how they want us to behave, how they want this $15 trillion industry to be. They want us actually to think about the effect we have on everything and every part of their life. They want healthier food. They want to live longer. They want to enjoy and really enjoy their good life. They want things tailor-made. You remember the faces? So someone who is 70 years old, somebody who is 80 years old, and someone who is 5 don't want the same type of food. They want the food anytime and everywhere. But not only they tell us, those faces and the people, what they want. They actually are very precise about how they want us to do it. They want us to do it in an ethical way, in an inclusive way, that people will actually feel that they are the same. They want us to do things in a way that they will trust us. They want us to do it in a sustainable way. They want us to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. So if we heard before about health, about public health, about medicine, so no more medicine is taking care of those who are sick and we take care of feeding them. We have to think holistic. So now it's not anymore 2 categories, but 1, and the reason why we need to share. So what we hear is that that's the time, and it's now, to break the silos. No more separate technologies and not separate industries, not the government alone and we, the private sector alone, not the NGOs alone, but just doing it together, breaking the silos, and create amazing technologies. Because between what is needed, the billion people that are going to be added to the world, the different needs, we believe that technologies will just shorten the way to do the things that people want us to do. And it's the right time now, because there is new spirit in the air of openness, of sharing, of collaboration and transparency. And I think that's what this convention is all about. That's the dream. And there is no better place to do it than here from Israel, to start this movement. Well, not because we sound sometimes like we believe it's the best place on earth. It's just because Moses took us 40 years journey to find this place which has no earth, no water, kind of a desert, some people, so we needed to overcome it. And we always use technology of agriculture to actually create relationship. So we want to actually do it even further and to take agriculture and food as the new way of Israel reaching out and creating technologies and relationship with people. And it started. We have already an amazing teams here in Israel. We started the movement. The Israeli government started to launch its first food technology incubator. We joined them and we are managing it now. We're doing actually once every 2 years conventions all about food technology. Last year there were 1,400 people just talking together and sharing food technology for a better world. So we are connecting, which is what we are doing here today. And as I said, let's just do it. And let's do it together because it's bigger than us. And each one by ourselves, each category, each panel is not the right answer. Just by opening up and doing it together, because we, in the food industry, we just need all of you to share with us, and we are just waiting to do it. Thank you.